So at this point, man, I'm like, listen, man, what else do I need to see? But I call her. She didn't answer the phone. I think I called about 7, 8 times. She would not answer the phone. And so I said, I tell you what, man, let me just relax because at the end of the day, whatever she's doing, and ain't nothing I can do about it. So I went back in and started taking care of my clients. Well, about an hour later, she called my phone. And of course, when she called the phone, she was very sleepy. And she said she had just woken up. Or maybe she had just did something that exerted a lot of energy. Either way, she played the role like she was asleep. She played the role like she had just woke up. So I asked the qualifying questions. Baby, what you been doing? Oh, I was asleep. Really? You was asleep, huh? I said, baby, you didn't see me calling? No, I went straight to sleep. Did you now? And so I said, well, baby, let me ask you a question because I needed to qualify some things real quick. I said, when is the last time you saw your brothers? Because she got brothers. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't her brothers. And so she said, well, I ain't seen them in a while, baby. I said, okay, well, cool. Well, let me ask you a question. Who was the nigga that went in with you when you got the DoorDash? She said, what do you mean? I said, yeah, the DoorDash driver told me that when he pulled up to the apartment that he didn't even get a chance to knock at the door, but it was a guy standing outside. So you was really opening the door for him and just so happened you got the DoorDash food. No, that's not what happened. It must have been somebody else. It wasn't me. And she just lied. I mean, I'm going to be honest, man. Lil Mama is probably the greatest liar that I've ever met in my life. And so, because I'm a little bit intelligent from time to time, I had done something to secure this situation. I called the DoorDash driver back because I wanted to verify that he said what I thought he said. And I recorded the conversation on my second phone. And he said specifically, somebody buzzed me in. When I got to her apartment, there was a guy standing outside. She opened the door. She looked at me and she said, oh, thank you. And then they went into the apartment. I sent that recording to her. She called me back, still lying. I said, well, listen, mama, it's all good. I'm done. I'm out of there. So she finally called me back and she says this. Y'all ready for this? She says, well, baby, I just didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to argue because I know how you can be. But a guy that is just a friend, we as a group went saltwater rafting 2 years ago. And they all came back to my house and he left his shoes at my house. So he called me recently and asked me if he could come by the house to get his shoes. And I said, yes. And I said to myself, so you want me to believe that a man that you haven't dated, that was just a friend, called you back 2 years later to get some saltwater rafting shoes. You, being in a relationship, thought it was okay to invite him to your house and bring him inside of your house. And then when you see your man calling, not answer the phone for something that was innocent. Now, I've been to your building almost 2 years now. He couldn't have got in unless you buzzed him in. So you knew he was coming. This was something that you planned. Swore up and down it was innocent. And at this point, I was like, you know what, bro? I know exactly what I'm dealing with. I know exactly what I'm dealing with. And so I'm going to fast forward because episode 19 going to be just a little bit longer. So I get back to the crib. You know, she picked me up from the airport. And obviously I'm livid. But we have some conversations, you know what I'm saying? And the next weekend, she disappears again. And I'm starting to see a consensus that she's disappearing. I go out of town, I come back. Now I'm not seeing her for 7, 8, 9, 10 days. I'm like, yo, shorty, what's good? And so finally, I made a decision. I said, listen, this is what I'm gonna do, baby. Because I feel like what you're doing is using this house as a storage while you go spend time with other places. Now, keep this in mind, y'all. I'm preoccupied at the time. I got a couple of other things going on, business, personal. But I'm just noticing that she's just not showing up. And so finally, man, I get a storage and I put her stuff in storage and say, listen, man, you can stay wherever you've been staying. It is what it is. And when I put her stuff in storage, she didn't make any complaints. She was just like, okay, just tell me where it is. And I thought to myself, I wonder why she don't have a problem with me putting her stuff in storage. I'm about to find out right now.